Good day. We'll be starting our CIT 1 to 6 class, Fortran programming, with this lecture video. So we always we'll try to create Zoom meetings for discussion, so that any aspect of the class that isn't clear or that you might need clarifications on can be tackled during those Zoom classes. So for now, let's start the class. So a brief introduction. Fortran actually was introduced between 1954 and 1957 by IBM. The whole goal of Fortran programming was to translate scientific equations into computer programs. So during those periods, the computer exists, but there was a need for translation, and there was a need for programming of mathematical and scientific equations into computer programs, basically. So the first version was introduced in 1957, and later on another version was introduced in 1958. There was Fortran 3, but we weren't so sure of what happened with it. But Fortran 4 was introduced in 1962. Then Fortran 4 was literally named as Fortran 66. Then later on, Fortran 77, one of the most common versions of Fortran, is actually Fortran 77, was introduced in 1977. Later on, in 1991, Fortran 90 was introduced, and later on in 1997, Fortran 95 was introduced, and so on and so on. As of 2018, there's another version of Fortran that was introduced in 2018, but Fortran being basically a procedural programming language, has some bit of limitations, but for learning programming, Fortran is a good tool to start learning programming. So we won't do so much of an introduction, we'll just jump right at it. Now, for the class, the lecture notes I sent in class is right over here, and we'll be using this lecture notes basically for the class. So for today, we'll look at the chapter 1 today, then we'll continue in subsequent classes. So if you don't have this material yet, try and make sure you get it. I sent it to your WhatsApp group, so try and make sure you have this lecture notes. Will basically be using it throughout this course. So if we will jump right to the chapter 1 of this book, the goal of today's class is to first create and run a Fortran 95 program. Then later on, we'll try and see the basic structure of the program. We'll try and look at what are the basic things that make up a typical Fortran program. Then we'll start trying to look at errors, try to see a little bit of debugging. We won't be able to solve everything or do everything, but at least to see how to trace errors in Fortran. Then we'll try to understand the various variable types, from the real, the integer, the character. Then how to then save a copy of the output to Microsoft Word. Okay. Now, the IDE that will be IDE integrated development environment that we use for this course is the Plateau IDE. So you can get the Plateau IDE from this website right over here. I've installed mine, and it's pretty simple. You guys can just try and download and see how it will work. So for my own plateau, how do I write over here? So if I fire it up, it's going to come up. So the environment basically looks like this. Not too much, but we'll get right back to this. Let's just follow our lecture and keep going. So now let's create our first Fortran program. Don't worry about the basic. I'll still explain to you. Let us create a basic or simple program for now and see how it works. I'm just going to create a program that will output a low world. I think that's a common like the basic most every programming language. First thing you always do is to try and create an hello world application. So now to start, I'll come to file over here. So once I click it, I have different options: free format Fortran, fixed format Fortran file, and the likes. I think Pluto can actually be used for development of other types of programming languages. So I can say Java here, I can say Web, I can say C++, C#, but obviously we're doing Fortran. So I'm going to create free Fortran format. So I have something like this. So okay, let's just start. Basically, I just want to create a program. Like I said, I want to create a program that just says hello. So let's start. Most times you want to comment. Like I said, don't worry too much about the technicalities for now. I will still explain everything over. So I just say first program. So we need to give our program a name. Let's call it hello world. Hello world. Then after then that we want to then create something like we don't even need to create anything as it is. I'm looking at it. We just want to basically just print out, so we don't need to start creating variables. The various ways by which you can do the one in your book says print star, but I said the material I sent, right? I mean star comma hello world. So like I said, don't worry about the technicalities. We'll print star comma hello world. So we can end, I think we can end this program right here. So end program. So let's now run this program. Ordinarily, if you come to build and try to build, it will build and try to run. But if you want to save, it's always good to just first save your program before you go to build. So let's save the program. Once you stop Fortran, in your document file, it's going to create a Fortran folder for you automatically. So this is not my own first program. I've actually written a program like initially, so just make sure that everything is working out fine. But for yours, it's probably going to be the first program I'm going to have. So I'm just going to put this as hello. So I'm just going to save it. So I can then now come to build and then say start run. So actually I'm supposed to first click on build. So you can see it's trying to compile, then the compilation and linking are all set. And if you have errors in your program, this will indicate that you have errors in your code in your program. So my program is fine, I don't have any errors, so that's why everything is black. If you have errors, it's going to be like red. It's going to warn you until you have errors in your program. So because I don't have any error in your program, that's why it's all black. So I can then now try to then run my program. So because there's a warning for us that this program was built with version addition of 15 and 5 and all, So but that's just basically because we're using silver first platform. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. So you can see what we have here. Hello world. I hope you guys can see it right here. So that's the first program I created. Hello world. Everything seems to be working fine. Everything seems to be doing good. So I can basically just click enter, and this will disappear. But actually, print star comma hello world works fine. But what I'm more used to is write star comma star, write star comma star, and I close it like that way. When I start learning Fortran, I'm more used to this. So please, although I know that what in the material I sent is print star comma then printer, but most times I think I'm going to be using write star comma star. I mean, just that's what I'm just basically used to doing over time. So I can just use normal Control S to save. I still have my hello. Initially, I think we tried to see it as hello world. I think it truncated it from where we had space. So that's why it should be. I think it was hello world I used. I'm not sure now. Just can just rewind and see what I used. But if you put a space, I think it's going to truncate it and then start from where you created that space. And that's why this hello came in. So if we can, we need to rebuild because the build is now out of date. So we need to rebuild. Everything seems fine now. Since we will and everything can then now try to run. Of course, still trying to let us know that this is for education and personal usage only. So it's just going to disappear and fine. The word still there. So now let's write something. Okay, let me create another video and we'll do something a little bit much more interesting other than the hello world application. Please always don't forget that you can always we're going to have a discussion class where you guys can ask the question, and I'll always try to give answers to the best of my knowledge. But I don't think we should have any problem with this basic introduction to Fortran. So please watch out for the next